Zach and Sammy now have clarity after being in the bottom three. How convenient. Welcome back to Reality TV podcast. And a lot has happened since we last spoke. There has been a daytime recoupling. Well, before we get to that, let's start from the very beginning of this episode. And this episode started with, we left off with Andre and Charlotte being dumped from the island. So we start off with Catherine crying about Andre being dumped. Well, we don't blame her. Girl, cry your cry. If you don't cry, what people will say? Oh, she didn't miss him. Oh, she didn't even cry enough. So yeah, she had to bring out, the waterworks had to come out, had to talk about her. She was thinking of it going slow and steady with Andre and well, we have always said it here. It wasn't there. She didn't really have much for her. Part of her is relieved that, because everyone knows she wants to get to know Scott anyway. From our end, that's what we think. So probably she's most likely relieved that she will not be going to know Scott now, and then it will be like a second time she's leaving Andre to go and meet another guy, and she'll be feeling so bad and the rest. So now that Andre is gone, it's like she's well within her rights to know Scott, to be with Scott, and also, well, it's a win for her. Moving on from that, we see Zach pulling Molly for a chat, or see them chatting together, and then he's telling Molly that the being in the bottom three gave him clarity, and the only person he was thinking about was her. Well, same thing was what Sammy was also telling Jess. Being in the bottom three gave him clarity, and that when he was standing there, it was only Jess he was thinking about. It's very, very convenient for them. I mean, now that they've seen that Molly and Jess are strong contenders and they have the fans' favorite, well, and if they want to stick in the house, let's give Zach a pass, because, even people were saying that, well, Zach has always been straight with Molly. Even with Charlotte, he didn't really give her that energy because, well, he was always saying it's Molly. But you see, Sammy just got into the bottom three, saw Leah in the bottom three, and boy took a 360. He was going, imagine last night being the first time him and Jess were actually having a kiss outside games. Ever since they've been paired, super clarity came to him after being in bottom three, we must say. One person who is not buying Sammy's story is Ella. And she said it's the next morning when they woke up and Jess was saying she had her first kiss. And Ella was like, oh, well, it's good, but it's kind of super convenient for Sammy. Now that he has seen that Leah is in the bottom three and him is also in the bottom three, and seeing that Jess did not make bottom three and being a fan's favorite, it's now convenient for him to start saying he sees a future with her and he wants to get to know her more. He wants to close it off with her. But from Jess, she was seeing it as, oh well, because Mitch took interest in her, that's what has put Sammy on the edge and making Sammy do a 360 back to her. Well, we actually think Jess also knows what's happening here, but it's not just going out fully for that. Later on, we'll talk about that. Going on to, we saw Tyreek get jealous because Scott and Ella were having a conversation. Oh, well, part of why he rushed to close off things with Ella because he saw a new guy coming, and he saw that Leah was already moving away from him because Leah was not going to waste her time with him. So now he was expecting that since he has closed off with Ella too will quickly close off and will not get to know Scott well. The baby's already chatting with Scott and it's getting him angry. And we still think those two are rock solid. Well, until Kasamo, so she just rattled him a bit, but they're definitely still together. And even speaking of that, at night he remembered that, oh yeah, Ella, let's stay in the day bed. Remember we talked about this day bed thing and doghouse thing and sleeping in the same bed. When Ella was sleeping alone, this guy still stayed in the same bed with Leah, did not move an inch, did not even decide to go and sleep in the day bed to make a statement. But now Leah is in bottom three and he sees that Ella is strong. Suddenly he remembers that he can leave that bed for Leah and then go to the day bed to go and sleep on the same bed with Ella. Interesting. Everybody now has clear. Even Zach too was like, oh, Molly, come to my bed. It's now you remember when Molly went outside to sleep in the day bed and he refused to follow her. Bottom 3 definitely gives clarity. Moving on, we had recoupling. And in the recoupling, Zach picked Molly. Well, it was expected. Let's see how that goes. Mandy picked Whitney. Those two are an interesting pair. They just make, they make people laugh and all. Although Mandy can be kind of demanding, but he got angry that Whitney was laughing and we get where he was coming from. Sammy picked Jess. And then he made a statement of Leah being a test and that it was just a rocky path and all, and that annoyed Leah. We'll get to that. Mitch picked Leah. Mitch has always liked Leah, and the fact that she didn't pick him, he said it then that it pained him. But right now, he kind of doesn't have it, and he really, really wants to get to know Leah. As for Leah, I think she wants to move in the path of Scott, and she might even still explore doing things with Scott, because I don't think she said she's open to knowing Mitch, which would be good for her, because if she decides to have something with Mitch or anything, it could keep her a bit in the game. With Scott, it's kind of dicey. The both of them might see themselves leaving the island. Next off, we have Tyreek, who picked Ella. Cool. Those two were expecting each other to pick each other, and that's good for them. And then we have Scott picking Catherine. It was given, I don't have any other person to pick, so I have to pick Catherine. And it kind of looks like they're forcing it, like, oh, they want Scott with Catherine. And it looks like we are seeing the same thing that happened with Zach, when Zach picked Catherine when he had to pick. We'll go out of the limb here and say Scott really likes Molly. The time he picked Molly for a chat, you should have seen the way he was so bubbly. Hopefully, for Catherine's sake, Molly does not decide to be open again. Because if she does say she's open again, we might see Scott trying to know Molly. We also think Scott also likes Leah too. I personally don't think Catherine is his number one choice. And that could be, we just hope for her sake there's no repeat again. After the whole recoupling, Leah was not happy about the test statement and she cried about it. She also put Sammy for a chat, and then she clearly told him that she feels it's because he entered in the bottom 3 and that's why he decided to move the way he moved. And the next thing he dropped is because I didn't pick you, and that's why you moved the way, that's why you're saying this. He clearly wanted to hurt her because of what she said. Then he got into an argument with Jess and even walked away from her. We feel Jess was always going to dump him. We just go out of the limb here and just say it. She was always going to dump his bottom 3 blank, but she didn't want to do it in a nasty way, so she was doing it gently. We might, going forward, see Jess try to have conversations with Mitch and try to get to know Mitch more. Because man, imagine this guy putting you through all this stress, and at the end of the day, he's still a bottom 3 material. Anyway, that has been our show. Thank you very much. Stick for the next episode.